pound for pound great, the sensational,
the one, the only, the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world.
Okay, TrueCore TV presents the champions of the world.
Hosted by the DiNunzio Brothers AGD, Fo, and myself, Vago.
The show that gets you to know some good people doing good things. We're going to ask our guests some questions and see what their thoughts and feelings on a wide range of topics which we feel should be talked about. More. Focus on mental, physical, spiritual health, truth, freedom, love, and the warrior spirit.
Before we get started, we got to give some love to our sponsors, Zio's Natural and Organic Products, sourcing you the finest of natural and organic products.
I'd like to introduce our guest today, one of our top contenders to be the next champion of the world. He's an entrepreneur, owner and teacher of a Bikram yoga studio in North Delta, BC. A big believer in this yoga practice, as I am also, I must add. Definitely a passionate guy for what he believes, a truth seeker, round globe basher, but still at heart a compassionate, good man. Welcome my friend and my brother, Mak Parhar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mak.
So let's go in line with our sponsor. Do you buy natural organic products, Mak?
I do. I do when at any opportunity I can. I totally believe in natural and organic. Putting good stuff into our body because we are what we eat. So I'm for that message.
Cool. Yeah. On that note, GMOs.
Horrible, horrendous, need to be abolished. Monsanto needs to be taken out, and Dow, I think, are the other big guys, and people need to wake up. And you know, eating foods that have been altered in a laboratory is not what we should be putting in our body. And anybody that does a half an hour of research can find the truth out about GMOs. It's just a matter of not having a lazy mind.
Thank you. Okay, so dentists say fluoride protects teeth and cavities against cavities, and it's a natural product. What are your views on fluoride?
Well, I bought into the whole fluoride lie as well. It's good for your teeth, but it's just another lie put on by the elite sick psychopaths that rule over us to poison us, and the dentists don't know any better. They're just spewing out what they've been indoctrinated with. Fluoride's well known now. Again, you do a little bit of research, it's a killer. Kills your pineal gland, and that kills the spirit and you know, our level to operate at a kind of a higher vibration, right? That's what they're doing. So it's a no to fluoride for sure.
Word, yeah. This one kind of changing gears a bit here. Where do you believe that humanity originates from? The origins of humanity.
Oh man, I haven't given that too much deep thought, but definitely am leaning towards the side that we were created and we've put here, and I know for a fact we did not evolve from anything, any monkeys or Big Bang evolution. That is a complete and utter lie. I woke up to that a couple of years ago. So the only alternative, you know, the other door, as far as I can see, is that we were created. If we're living in an enclosed system, we definitely are created. I mean, do I have the answers? Can I go find the answers? It's not that easy. That's what they're working hard to hide from us, right? And protect the truth from us. We need to build the numbers so we can get those kind of very important answers.
Absolutely.
Hey, Mak, on that tip, do you think God exists?
I do, yes. 100%.
Do you believe the devil exists?
I'm starting to. Yeah, I've been throughout my life. Just because I grew up a different religion, a Sikh religion. My parents were fundamental, and they didn't really. There's no devil in that, and a lot of Buddhist philosophy and yoga. Obviously, I'm a yoga teacher and study yoga. There's no devil in that, but with this awakening to the mass deception going on, there's so many signs that a devil, Satan, evil entity is probably in existence. So I'm starting to open up to that. Right. Do I have a definite answer? No, but almost there.
Yeah.
To 100% being convinced.
A little different. We're just questions randomly here. I'm just picking out the Mandela Effect. Mac, true or false? Is this something, or what is this Mandela effect?
You know, I avoided the Mandela effect when I first heard about it because I thought, this is more. Because when we get new information as a truther, when I found out there was disinfo and disinfo agents, like we put it to the side, like flat earth, like put it to the side. Same thing with Mandela effect. I was like, this sounds like disinfo, but I've been looking into that a lot more, and definitely there's there. And for me, the number one proof is there is because when Nelson Mandela, when they made that Mandela movie with Matt Damon, and then it was like, he's coming out of jail, I was like, whoa, he died when I was in high school. There's this big thing about Nelson Mandela dying. So like for me, as far as Nelson Mandela goes, the Mandela effect is true. And there's so many other things in there that I'm looking at. I'm not saying 100% of them are the Mandela effect, but there's so much out there that I'm like, yeah, they changed this, they changed this, they changed that.
Berenstain, for me, watching with my kids, I knew I was watching it every day with my kids. I was like, Berenstain, not, or
there's so many.
It gets you confused now if it's Berenstain or Berenstein. You know what I mean? Now I'm even questioning but I knew when I first heard it, I'm like, there's no way that it's Berenstain. It's Berenstein.
Yeah.
Like Jewish steam.
Right.
Like
I've like probably 2-3 dozen things that now that I've looked into it, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm just like, yeah, that's changed, that's changed. Mandela effect is real. I mean, these 6 psychos, that's what they do. You know, they're just here to fuck with our heads, and the Mandela effect's a huge, huge mind fuck, right?
Absolutely.
yes, man.
Absolutely. This next one, I'm sure you'll have quite a bit to say. Flat Earth theory. Eric Dubé or Matt Powerland?
Oh man, definitely Eric Dubé. Off the top of my head, I like Matt Powerland more and more now. I didn't get into him too much in the beginning. I got his shirt, photo or painting. I ordered it. You know, when I first started watching his videos, he was like, I don't know, stoned, whatever, like going on these 40-minute rants, not really saying anything.
That's right.
But I give him props. People are like, which one's the original OG flat earther, right? But Eric Dubé's videos are what woke me up. That's all I can find when they came up on my stream. It's definitely not a theory, Dan. It's definitely flat is fact. I'm not gonna skirt around the issues on flat Earth. I'm over that stage. Water finds its level. 75% of the Earth is water. 75% of the Earth is flat. It can't be any other shape except flat, right? Natural physics of water is flat. So flat Earth is the truth. The heliocentric globe is a theory, unable to be proven. I keep trying to prove it. I can't prove it. You know, and I see the massive deception I was under all my life believing in it. You know, and then you put that globe theory, the ball Earth, under scrutiny. There's absolutely nothing there, right? The brainwashing just strips away. It's not instantaneous. It takes dozens of hours, man. Dozens and dozens of hours before you strip that away. Yeah, I mean, that's what the thing I'm most passionate about out of all the truths. I can talk about chemtrail, they're right up there, GMOs, fluoride, vaccines, but flat Earth is what I've become about now. And for me, it's such a polarizing issue. I'm losing so many friends on a daily basis. This weekend I went skydiving and probably made more enemies there again, man. I gotta jump out of the sky with these guys. They gotta have my back, right? And I'm losing more and more friends, but I'm standing for the truth. Right. And the reason flat Earth is important, it's not because of the shape, it's because it exposes these 6 psychopaths and human enslavement and human farming. Flat Earth, if you wake up to it, oh my God, you wake up to everything else. And it's fortunately, these fuckers have done such a good job with the Tavistock Institute and mind controlling the masses that, man, it's such a, people want to fight me, man, like, you know.
Yeah, what was I going to say to stay on that? Do you believe that there is a firmament, like a dome, or do you believe, because Matt Powerland believes that it's an infinite flat plane with multiple like pawns, and then, you know, Eric Dubé is more along the lines of it being, you know, he doesn't go into that direction, he's more along the lines of a dome.
Again, well, to answer that, that would be a belief system, unlike what my intuition tells me. I'm open to the pawn theory. They're hiding something. So what do they hide? Like, would they hide the edge? Like, it makes more sense. I mean, either one makes sense to me, that, you know, that there's tons of ice and then there's a wall, but what the fuck was Admiral Byrd doing down there, living down there for 6 months or?
Well, apparently there's all the natural resources, etc. down there, but also apparently from what I learned was that NASA began right after the Admiral Byrd thing. So they were saying, well, maybe they found the edge, like the end of the dome, and then they started shooting nukes into the atmosphere. Those are facts.
Okay, sorry to cut you off. I know we gotta have a longer discussion. We're gonna have Mac on again for sure, and because Mac and Dan obviously, you know. But let's go on.
Well, let me just finish
here. That's pretty important. Okay, finish.
Let me just finish. So
yeah,
it makes sense to me that there's definitely a barrier. How far it goes, I don't know. Again, they're hiding that from us. More ponds makes sense to me. Where would these resources be? How did Admiral Byrd find resources if they're under ice? Like, they just decided to randomly dig there. So it makes, when he says they found more land, the size of America, then that leads to the more ponds theory, right?
Right. Okay.
But definitely a barrier, firmament, dome, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Cool.
There's no such thing as outer space. That's only in our people's imagination, in their minds.
Okay, Mac. So, where's the question here? It seems like we're coming to a pinnacle point here for humanity and planet Earth. What does humanity need to do to thrive, to survive? Like, what do you think is one of the most important things?
Well, first of all, it's not a planet. Drop the T.
Okay. Sure.
I'm just
You know what I'm
kidding.
saying.
You're not quite there. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of fear porn out there, and it's easy to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, just last night I was, you know, getting into some stuff that started making me feel dark and hopeless. But I mean, there's a lot of evidence that these FEMA camps are going up and they're building them. There's a footage of a Walmart with like prison-style cages outside it now. These coffins, they're setting up these coffins for genocide. We could go down that. I mean, it is. Like, I think things are culminating. I mean, all the signs, all the researchers that are studying this, I mean, point to 2020 being a big year, you know, of the plan of these fuckers. For me, the only answer is numbers. Waking up as many people as we can and getting to that tipping point and taking the power, because until we have these sheeple ball lickers, that's what I call them. I coined that phrase, right? Ball lickers. And we got to wake these people up. They're our friends, they're our family. It's my mom, it's my uncles. Like, you know, they can ridicule me and, you know, they make fun of me. I'm going to lose a lot of friends and maybe get into physical alterations. But to answer your question, that's the only thing. Whether they wake up to vaccines, whether they wake up to, you know, fluoride, whatever they're going to wake up to, the lies in media, false flag, fake shootings, the only answer I see is waking more people up. So you know, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. Like, if we're, you know, the end of humanity, end of days, and the Georgia Guidestones prediction, a lot of evidence leads to that. Or it could go on and it's just more fear porn, but definitely I think that's why I support my shirts. I got stickers, I got cards I hand out. Most of the people aren't going to look because they're so indoctrinated, but definitely it's about getting the mass consciousness awoken and aware. Then we can actually do something.
Right on.
Right, last question here, Matt.
Yeah.
What happens when we figure it all out? Like the control structure, you know, God, natural law, aliens, interaction, intervention, interdimensions, quantum physics, astral travel, immortality, etc., etc. What happens to humanity once all that is kind of figured out?
Well, that's what we need to find out. I mean, I could speculate. I'll say it'll also, you know, I've always said, like, you know, throughout my life and my teaching, it'll be like heaven on earth. We won't have this argument. We won't be fighting each other. We won't be struggling. We'll have time with our families. Things will still get built. Somebody's going to want to make a better mic. Somebody's going to want to make a better laptop. All of that's going to happen, and it's just programmed into us that we need government and structure for that to exist. Once we take those guys out, I just think we will be on the path to live our life as humanity was meant to live it, right? Then we got to find the answers they hid from us, right? And yeah, I totally think it'll be like heaven on earth.
Awesome, Mac. Thank you. That's all the time we have for today, but This has been awesome, bro. This has been more than I thought. We have to have you on again, obviously. And so just please, in closing, please tell our listeners where they can find you online or...
On YouTube, well, Mak Parhar on Facebook. I'm not that active. And on YouTube, I've got a channel. It's Flat Earth Focker, like Meet the Fockers. It's not really for people looking whether it's round or flat. It's not a ball liquor friendly channel. It's for people that are 100% on board with flat earth. So I wouldn't want anybody to start over there. Go to Eric DeBay's channel or Mark Sargent or something like that. But it's just something I do. I do a lot of vlogs driving around my car, and I do a lot of what's called flat smacking. I'll just randomly pull out my phone and start talking flat earth with someone. And I got subscribers that like the flat smacking, and for some reason people like to hear me rant in my car as well. So yeah, so that's how you can find me. And thanks for having me on, man. This was great. It was great chatting.
We'll have to have you
guys.
back and get more in depth with some of the questions, man.
I'd definitely love to come back. This was great.
Well, special thanks to everyone who tuned in. Special thanks to our guest, Mak. And check his stuff out online. We're gonna throw some of his links in the description box below.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you again by Zeo's Natural Organics, www.zeos.ca and truecoretv.com. Truth, freedom, love, and the warrior spirit. Peace.